Hi, this is Bill Capehart, as you probably have already guessed. Thank you for watching. I want to talk at the beginning here just a minute about a life skills class, elementary school life skills class that I recently substitute taught in. It was phenomenal. It was a great experience. I loved it. One of the moments I remember most was we took the children to lunch. There were about 10 of them. And there were about 100 other general education students in the classroom, in the cafeteria eating. And we brought our 10. Some of them couldn't feed themselves. Some of them could, but it was very messy. Some of them we had to watch very close to make sure they didn't throw their food. Some of them looked around knowing that they were being stared at. It was one of the most rewarding experiences I've had in a very long time. I'd like to read a short passage. And Jesus said to his host, "When you give a luncheon or a dinner, do not invite your friends, your brothers, your relatives, or your rich neighbors. If you do, they may invite you back, and so you'll be repaid. But when you give a banquet, invite the poor, the crippled, the lame, the blind. Although they cannot repay you, you will be repaid at the resurrection of the righteous." Many of you know me already, and you know this is my passion. It's really what I want to do. It's what I love to do. It's become pretty apparent that where we are right now, Jasper County doesn't need another special educator. They don't need me. But I am needed at Faith International Academy in Davao, Philippines. They do want a special education department because they don't have one. If a parent wants to enroll their child and they have any special needs, no, can't come right now. Not until I get there and by the grace of God slowly begin a program. I'd like to read, it's a short letter regarding why we're needed there. It was written by the then head of school, Mr. Alan Farland, who interviewed me. He was one of the people who interviewed me. And it says this: "Thank you so much for considering being a prayer and financial support partner for the ministry of Bill and Wendy Capehart. Asia needs workers like the Capeharts to reach the people with the good news of Christ's salvation. The Capeharts ministry will have both an indirect and a direct positive impact on this mission. Directly, the Capeharts are using their gifts, education, and experience in teaching special needs students of the children of missionaries' kids, and other international students at Faith International Academy, FIA Davao City. Even more, they are sharing their lives. Faith International Academy, a school primarily for the children of missionaries working in Asia, is committed to equipping students to be Christ-like, lifelong learners by providing a dynamic, quality, relevant, international Christian education. FIA, with about 140 students K through 12, is located strategically in the southern Philippines. Our students are leaders of the next generation of world Christians. Their spiritual and academic development is vital, as the Capeharts will be directly involved in reaching and equipping these leaders. Indirectly, by the ministry at FIA, the Capeharts are meeting their educational needs so that parents can serve in the mission enterprises throughout Asia. Parents are far more productive and effective by knowing that their children are well cared for. The parents can then focus on their ministry of church planting, leadership training, medical outreaches, orphanages, Bible translations, and so many other vital ministries both here in the Philippines and throughout many unreached parts of Asia. Currently, that is Mr. Farland, is in a unique position to recommend Bill and Wendy. As FIA head of school, where we'll be serving, I can tell you that the skills, experiences, and education that the Capeharts bring are very much needed. When I began this process back in November, it was very cold, very snowy outside, about 11 o'clock at night, and I was looking online for a job overseas, a Christian job, preferably overseas, and this one came up. I hit a button, think I may be interested in that, and within an hour, Mr. Farland replied. I didn't know it was him at the time, but he was very honest with me, very open with me, and one of the things he said in his reply an hour later is, "Please understand that FIA staff members do not receive salary but are prayerfully and financially supported through Christian mission agencies." That scared me. That scared me to death. But at the same time, I realized I can't just say no to this. If this is where my God wants me, then I'm going to press forward and see what happens. My first dilemma was, what am I going to do with this house? Some of you know about this house we have. What am I going to do with it? Well, it turns out that's taken care of. One of our daughters and their family's going to move up, and they're going to live in this one. Well, what about the house they're in? Oh, what a coincidence by God that the house they own, they're going to vacate. Another one of my daughters and son-in-laws will be moving into that house to take that from them. Things are just coming together. I guess you could say it started about 4 years ago when I left retail and I went into a life skills class and thought, oh, this is it. And I got a hold of the VA and asked them if they would help me get my education, and the VA funded my license and my graduate degree in education. And this is where we are now. Right now, I feel like the Lord has got the Hebrews. The Lord took the Hebrews out, and they gave them riches and possessions and marched them out of that city of Egypt, and they got to the Red Sea. And they looked back and saw the Egyptians coming. And they looked forward and they just saw the Red Sea. But God said it was for His glory, and then they parted the Red Sea. We're needed there. I want to go with all my might. I want to reach. There's somebody, some children, some person, some people we're supposed to touch. And I won't know who it is till we get there. But I wanted you to hear this from me, just in this format. Thank you for watching.